Barry Tompkins, Al Bernstein. We are back at Harrah's here in Atlantic City, and we come now to the main event. This main event, a heavyweight fight between Carl the Truth Williams and Jerry Jones. These are two guys, each of whom has been around the track. Williams perhaps around it a little bit more than Jones. Jones was something to prove, and Williams just wants a chance. Now let's talk about the keys to victory in this fight tonight.
Well, for these two men, for Carl Williams, of course, he is not exactly a secret to the world. Move to the left, yes, and that's because Jerry Jones will fight southpaw most of the time. The right hand is his big weapon. We saw it against Tillman. For Jones, if I was him, I would switch back and forth. Williams told us, I don't like southpaw, so certainly Jones should give him that look. Keep the pressure on. I don't think he should fight right off Williams' chest, but get inside the jab and make Carl Williams work every second of this bout.
Yeah, it's really a big fight for both men. Each could take a pretty good-sized step forward if they win this one. Right now, let's get to it. Main event, we're going 10 rounds, and here's Michael Buffer. Michael?
Ladies and gentlemen, Top Rank, incorporated in association with the undisputed, undefeated King of Beer, Budweiser, present the featured bout of the evening. This bout is sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, Boxing Commissioner Larry Hazard Sr., Chairman Jerry Gormley, board members Gary Shaw and Richard Harrison, Deputy Commissioners Lawrence Wallace and R. Yogi Hiltner. Our physicians in attendance at ringside, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Frank V. Doggett, Dr. Eric Wormser and Dr. Charles Wilson, attending physicians. The three judges scoring this bout on a 10-point must system will be Tommy Kazmarek, Al DeVito, and John Potteray, and the timekeeper is Arthur Spell. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Harrah's Casino Hotel here in Atlantic City, New Jersey, let's get ready to rumble! 10 rounds of boxing. This is in the heavyweight division. The referee for this bout is Rudy Battle. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the red trunks with white trim and weighing in at 215 pounds from Washington, D.C. As a professional, 11 victories with 8 KOs, only 4 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Slice Jones. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with red trim. He weighed in at 236 1/2 pounds, fighting out of Brigantine, New Jersey. His professional record, 25-4 with 19 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, he's one of the top-rated heavyweights in the world, Carl the Truth Williams.
Okay, fellas, I've given you your pre-fight instructions. I expect a clean break at all times. Let's have a nice, clean contest. Good luck to both of you. Let's touch gloves.
So we're set to go, and you look at Jerry Jones. Jones comes in here at 215 and comes in a hungry fighter. Both these fighters actually are hungry. Interestingly enough, too, neither one has been very active over the last several years. Just to give you an idea, since 1986, Carl the Truth Williams had less than 10 fights since 1986, and since 1986, Jerry Jones has had exactly 9 fights.
Yeah, they have not been real active. Heavyweights traditionally aren't that active, but especially these men. Jerry Jones has had only 1 fight in each of the last 3 years, so there you see the knockout percentage. Williams is a bigger puncher, no question about that. And right away, Jones switches to lefty.
Well, to that end, too, Carl the Truth Williams, 1 fight in 1989, 1 fight in 1990, 2 fights in 91, and he's had the 1 fight against Marshall Tillman this year, so it's a second.
Jones trying to push Carl Williams back. Carl already complaining, I think, about the use of the head by Jones.
Jones said he wants to get inside of Carl Williams' jab.
And it's obvious that what Jones is going to do is not fight up the whole fight as a righty, not fight the whole fight as a lefty, but move back and forth between those two styles, hoping it will confuse Williams. Nice right hand by Carl Williams.
Yeah, that one Jones off. I think that hurt him.
It did get his attention. Jerry Jones is lunging. I'll tell you what, Carl Williams has an excellent uppercut. And if he keeps lunging, look for that punch to land by Williams.
Jones had a very good outing, and down it goes for that right hand, just as you say.
Stay back in your corner.
He leaned right into that right uppercut. And Williams can punch with it.
Another right hand right on the button. That staggered Jones also.
Carl Williams is really
Oh, right hand by Jones, and down goes Williams.
Where did that come from?
Well, how do you like that? Talk about turning around in a major hurry.
Man. He hurt Williams. That wasn't a flash knockdown. Carl Williams was hurt with that punch. A right hook from the lefty stance does it for Jerry Jones. Now he moves back to righty.
I started to say before the first knockdown that Jerry Jones, right hand by Jones again, has Williams holding on. And another right hand. And another. Jones just trying to get him out of here. Williams is definitely hurt, but he's going to get through this round.
And as you saw, Carl Williams had a hard time finding his own corner.
You're where? Come here, man. Get the gloves up box. Pull it out with your head up. Yep. Okay? All right.
You will see Jerry Jones, he's the first to go down from the right uppercut that hit him as he was leaning in, and he was knocked off balance. And then Jerry Jones from the southpaw stance lands a right hand. It was actually more of a straight right than it was even a hook. And Carl Williams ended up on the seat of his pants. And from another angle,
Right on the button.
again, and you know why Williams was knocked down, Barry? He was looking for the same right uppercut that he hit Jones with earlier as he was lunging. And while he was looking for that punch, Jones threw the right hook. Very interesting.
Oh, wasn't it though? Both men on the canvas in the first round. And both men hurt in the first round. As you said, I don't think either was really a flash knockdown. Perhaps Williams on Jones a little bit more, but he still was hurt.
Now, Carl Williams has not really gotten his jab on track yet. And, of course, that would help him mightily in this spot. But Jones is getting inside that jab, as you can see.
That was his game plan. But he also throws punches outside in, and that could be a problem for him. Reminder that Friday night, Tyrone Frazier and Kevin Watson, our main event from the Sands Hotel just down the street here. Whatever happened to the Thursday night fights? They're on Friday. Good right left hand that time by Jones, and that backed Williams up too. That hurt him.
We will actually return Thursday, I think, in April. Is that correct?
Yes. April 9th, we will be in Las Vegas. As the Thursday night fights, sometimes on Sunday, occasionally on Friday, return to Thursday. Yeah, we have some loyal folks out there, I'll tell you.
We appreciate their work. Hey, Jerry Jones, I tell you what he's doing. He's starting to throw some combinations now. And that is really screwing up Carl Williams. He was throwing one punch, it was bad enough, but the combinations are really bothering Carl right now. Yeah, our fans have been very patient as we switch around from night to night, and they're sticking with us, and we appreciate it.
TV Guide Roulette. Well, both men have felt the other's best in this fight, which is still only 5 minutes old.
And you know, Jerry Jones, at the beginning of this fight, you would have been very tempted to say, as I think I was almost about to, that the power of Williams just might be too much for him because, as we said, Jones is not by nature a heavyweight. He's fought as a heavyweight. But then, look, he comes back and shows his own power. And remember, he had Ray Mercer stunned. And again, there's the right hook. Mercer felt his power, and we know Mercer has a good chin.
Yeah, and the other thing, he's a guy who looks like the type of fighter who would run out of gas. But if the Ray Mercer fight is any indication, we kept waiting for another right hand, staggers Williams. attempts. Williams in big trouble.
The right hook as a southpaw is the key for Jones. He can land it whenever he throws it practically. And Williams, he just is very upset about fighting a left-hander.
Left hand bounces Williams into the ropes. And Williams going to end this round like he ended the last one. Another big round for Jones. What I started to say, actually, is Jones appears to be a guy who would get tired, but if his performance against Ray Mercer was any indication, he never did get tired in that fight.
He just looks awkward. Let's hear what they're saying in Carl Williams' corner.
I know. Sir, back it around. Back it around. He gets tired looking for it. He's pretty well spent. Now, don't gamble with him. Keep your gloves up. For the right hand leader and that wicked left hook, you got to step with the punches.
You're at a nice piece.
I got it. Gloves up and head down. He's going to come right after Carl. Take a half step back and look at him.
As a left-hander, Jerry Jones is hard for Williams to handle. And you know why that punch landed? Because Carl Williams was in the wrong place. Look how he should be farther to the left. He's not moving to his left. There is the hook of Jones. He's right in position for Jones to throw the hook as a southpaw.
Well, Jones has that awkward style. Good jab by Williams. That jab actually knocked Jones backward. Jones has a healthy respect for Williams' jab. That's why he said he needed to be inside it.
As well he should. There are the punches in round two. Not that big a difference, but Jones with the bigger power in his.
Yeah, Williams only threw 7 power punches in that second round. Jones threw 20.
Now, I'm going to tell you, there's no reason for Jerry Jones now to fight as a righty for more than 10 seconds. He's making a huge mistake.
Right hand again.
Forget it. Never mind. I was only kidding. Maybe
Down goes Williams. That was a huge right hand.
It was. I never thought he'd do that as a righty, but he did. He knew what he was doing.
And now a long way to go in this third round for Carl Williams. First 2 knockdowns came, the near knockdown and the real knockdown came at the end of a round.
I thought Jones would only land that right hand as a lefty, which he is now, but he even did it as a right-hander.
Williams is still in some trouble.
Look for the right hook again. Jones will keep cranking it up until Williams shows he can stop it. And you'll see when you see their feet here. Look where Williams is. His left foot is on the inside of the right foot of Jones. He's putting himself in perfect position for Jones did him with the right hook, and it's going to be there again.
He just missed with it that time. That was the same shot that hurt him in the last round.
That right hand pushed Jones back.
Watch the elbow. Watch the elbow.
Well, he wants that right hand badly, does Jones.
And both of them. Jones looks like he's throwing a lot of arm punches right now. That was a right hand by Williams, just a little short.
And they do, but they are hurting Carl Williams.
Yeah, you still have the feeling it won't take much.
Now Jones moving to his left to stay on the outside of that foot of Carl Williams. Williams has hung in there in this round. He's been stunned in every single round.
Right hand by Williams. Jones breathing through his mouth as though he might be a little bit fatigued.
Fighting back, but you know the jab of Williams starting to land is making that right hand possible.
Uppercut drives Williams off of him again. Coming to the end now of the third round, and Williams did well just to get through that round.
Williams got nailed with the right hook. What else would it be? And Jerry Jones tried to go to work on him, but Williams also had his moments in that round. He hurt him with the right hand. In power connects, though, Jones had 18 in the last round, and Williams only 9.
So we start the fourth round. Each man has been down. Williams has been down twice. And almost went down a third time. Let's take a look at the numbers in the third round. Jones busier. Williams started to catch up, at least on the connect percentage. But still Jones' round, clearly, because of the knockdown.
Yeah, and it isn't that he is getting a huge margin, Jerry Jones. It's just that the power punches are there.
Jones fighting a little bit more at long range than he was earlier in the fight, contrary to what he told us he was going to do.
Cut him loose.
There's the uppercut from Williams. Now, there's the hook again, the right hook. It can get there whenever Jerry Jones turns to southpaw. He can land that punch. There it is again. And he wasn't even southpaw there.
Top of the head, but I'll tell you what, he does leave himself very open when he throws that punch.
Well, now Jerry's making a serious error. He's squaring himself up to Williams. He can get nailed with a straight right hand. To be effective, he should stay as a southpaw and keep cranking that right hook, and he will land it against Williams. It's crazy for him to be righty too much, and it's really crazy for Jones to square himself up so that Williams has an easy target. I think Jones now is trying to lure him in so he can counter with that hook.
Absolutely.
He may be a bit tired also, but I think that's a strategy.
See, there's the right hand again. It staggers him again.
He can't miss with that punch when he's a lefty. Can't miss with it.
And there it is again. And Williams is hurt again. Jerry Jones really hurt.
Jerry Jones can't lose this fight if he stays lefty and keeps throwing right hooks.
But he's got to jump on him. There's another right hand.
And Carl Williams just isn't stopping that punch at all. Now, to his credit, Carl Williams was able to sustain in this. He just barely missed with that one. And there it lands again.
But Williams is going to get through this round again. And how many times can Jerry Jones go to the well?
Now, in this case, Jerry Jones wasn't even set up as a southpaw. He still was able to land that right half hook, half jab. When he's set up this way as a lefty, it's really easy. And look at, here's the reason. Look at where his feet are. Look at where Williams' feet is. Jerry Jones. There you see the power punches by Jerry Jones with a big edge in this. And
Jones was hurt by that left hand.
Boy, Williams. Was he ever?
It's been an entertaining fight so far, I say that.
Extremely entertaining and surprising because I'm sure, let's face it, Carl the Truth Williams is a contender. And a man who doesn't expect to lose to a Jerry Jones.
According to him, has turned down a lot of money to fight some of the up-and-coming fighters.
Huge mistake by Jerry Jones. Fighting right-handed and fighting squared up against Carl Williams. See, he needs to be lefty. He just moved to lefty and he landed the right hand. And why they would ever let him go out right-handed the rest of this fight, I have no idea.
Took an uppercut and then dished out. A combination.
I'll say it one more time and I won't repeat it. There is nothing else for Jerry Jones to do in this fight but stand as a lefty and crank up right hook. And he will not lose this fight. But fighting this way, he can lose it. That's simple. But for Carl Williams, of course, he should be delighted to see it, but he better take advantage of it right now.
Jones, but it didn't have quite the power that some of his others. There was a right hand on the button again.
And he even landed that one as a righty. He stands southpaw, landed even better. But Williams is there it is again. Williams is starting to take those punches better, but that one stunned him. He's slowed down now. Williams was hurt by those last couple of shots.
So we come to the end of the 5th round, and Jones again had Williams in a little bit of trouble.
Here is Jerry Jones landing the overhand right. Now that was as a righty from the corner. As I've said, as a southpaw, it's even more effective, but it clearly shows that the right hand can get there for Jerry Jones. Well, Carl Williams, of course, his jab always a big weapon. He's outlanded Jones 37-4 in jabs, and you think, well, that's terrific, but Jones has a power edge 84-57. And you know what? More than 37 jabs should be landed by Williams at this point in the fight. He's going to be really effective. But in that last round, Williams did pick up the beat and started to land some pretty heavy shots.
Yeah, and Jones went back to his corner looking like a tired fighter at the end of that last round. Larry Tompkins, Al Bernstein. We are at Harris here in Atlantic City. This is our main event. Heavyweights Carl the Truth Williams in the white trunks, Jerry Jones in the red trunks with 3 knockdowns in his fight. 2 in the first round, 1 by each man. And Williams was down again at the hand of Jones in the 3rd round. And in fact, Jones has had Williams in trouble in just about every round.
Rock'em Sock'em action, and I want to briefly mention there'll be some Rock'em Sock'em action this coming weekend. I'm going to be in Phoenix for the Ben Johnson Pro Celebrity Rodeo and a Rawhide there, and it should be a lot of fun. It's for charity. There'll be all kinds of celebrities. I am but one of a galaxy. So it'll be a lot of fun. If people want to go to see it, they could contact the people at Rawhide in Phoenix to see it. It's for a good cause. And I'll tell you what, Jerry Jones is doing a good job in his own cause.
That body shot seemed to hurt Jones, too. Williams looks like the far heavier puncher right at the moment.
And laying on the ropes, there you go, will not get the job done for Jerry Jones. And Jones has now gone about a round or so without throwing that right hook at all. There it is. It's his ticket to victory if he can keep landing. It's his only ticket to victory because ultimately Carl Williams is a heavy puncher and he's a true heavyweight. And Jones is going to have to hit him with something else to hurt him.
Right hand, but he was off balance when he threw it. Still, I think it hurt Williams. There was a good right hand. That definitely hurt Williams. And another right hand. And another. And you're right, he can do it virtually at will.
As a southpaw, the right hook lands about 80% of the time for Jerry Jones. And what's surprising is not that he's landing it, but that it's hurting Carl Williams. I don't think everyone thought Jones could hurt Williams, but he has. Jones is tired, though. You're right. But Williams is hurt and tired.
Left hand, right hand behind it. Jones muscled up on that. And another right hand. But again, Williams is going to get through the round. Bombs him with 2 more left hands. Into the 6th round. And Williams ends it with a right hand of his own. Jerry Jones has the fight to win or lose, I would have to think. He appears to be a little bit tired, and Williams still appears, frankly, to be the stronger of the two, but yet Jones is getting there more often and hurting Williams. Look at the numbers through 6 rounds. Williams has landed more punches and a higher percentage of connects.
Isn't that funny? And you know, Jones in my mind is winning this bout. He's got one more knockdown. There's my card. I've got Jones ahead. And it's an indication also of how deceiving the total number sometimes can be, because guys can win certain rounds. You know, as each round was coming up, we saw Jones winning a number of them, and then with the knockdown. But then in one round, Williams may win by a bigger margin.
Jones danced and then got out of it. win or lose, Carl Williams has some work to do back in the gym.
Well, this is not a good performance by him. I'm confident even he would admit that. I mean, Jerry Jones is a competent heavyweight, but certainly not a contender. And Carl has been hurt on 2 or 3 occasions by him and has not exactly been a punching machine.
There's the right hand again.
And, you know, I'll say this in Carl Williams' defense, though. What he said to us about not wanting to fight a lefty, you don't see many lefties in the heavyweight division. And when somebody like a Tommy Morrison fights a Valulan and looks terrible against him, it's partially because they're lefties. And as a heavyweight, you just don't see lefties, period. It's not an excuse, but it's just maybe a reason why somebody would not look so good.
And also to Williams' credit, he has been hit with Jones' best shots and has not gone down since the 3rd round.
Yeah, he has sustained, although I think he was hurt in the last round a little bit.
I think he's been hurt in most of the rounds.
That's true. And it shows you that Carl Williams, you know, some have questioned his competitiveness. I haven't. I think he is a tough competitor. His consistency over the years has sometimes been lacking, but there aren't too many heavyweights you can't say that about, except for the possibility of a Tyson and a Holyfield and the like.
Uppercut, right hand again.
Williams shakes his head, but punch got in there. And we've now gone almost a full 7th round, and Jerry Jones has not thrown one right hook for this left-handed posture. The punch that he can land almost any time he wants to throw it.
End of the 7th round, and Jones didn't do much in that round.
Let's go. All right, let's go. All right, let's go. We go. Come on.
Unless he's thinking of the hook as the right instead of the left, saying the wrong hand. Either way, it's not very succinct. I mean, you don't care about the left hand in this fight if you're Jerry Jones. You only care about the right. That's what you're landing 90% of the time. You got to throw that punch. If you throw it as a righty, God bless you. If you throw it as a lefty, better yet.
Well, he threw the right hand right out of the box.
Jerry Jones has a 140-74 edge in power connects in this match. And when you say power, in his case, a lot of them have been very powerful.
Williams getting off a bit quicker now.
Right there. When he was pulling away, the right hook was there for Jerry Jones. And he didn't throw it. There. He was dipping to the right, and then he was going to bring that right hook up. Jones was, and he didn't do it. But at least he's thinking about it. For Carl Williams, from his standpoint, to do this is a good idea. Keep jabbing, keep scoring some points, thinking maybe you're going to get these rounds back. It is conceivable, of course, that if the judges are seeing this differently than I am, that Carl Williams could be right in there for a decision. And I don't have him out of this fight for a decision. I just have him behind by a couple of points. There's the right hook. There it is.
Oh, from the unusual posture.
Yes. But even then, it landed.
Yeah.
If he brings that right hook upstairs, I guarantee it's going to land. Threw it to the body, and they should... Oh, that one missed by an eyelash.
There it was. He just cranked it.
How come he doesn't realize that he should keep throwing that punch? It's crazy. He almost can't miss with it.
He might have got thumped.
Yeah, I think that may well. He's squinting a lot out of the eye. And he's also putting himself in a position more and more where Williams can land the right. Because Jerry Jones is moving to his left, he should be moving to his right, where he can put that hook in. If Jerry Jones loses this fight by a decision or should get knocked out, he can blame it squarely on either his own miscalculation of strategy or that of his corner. It's very simple.
This is a timeout for the mouthpiece. Jerry Jones'
Come on,
mouthpiece.
get the water up here. No, this is right here.
And this is a very close round here. Jones has landed a couple good shots, but Williams has been busier. There's the hook. redundant though it may be, that punch is going to always be there for him.
He ought to make the hook redundant.
Yeah, and a double hook there. Jones getting much busier here toward the end of this round, trying to steal it. And might well be doing it. For Carl Williams, as the time ticks away, you have to wonder if time isn't ticking away on him as a contender. Because a loss here would be devastating.
Oh, yeah. I think he absolutely has to win this fight. End of round 8. This is a very close round and a pivotal round.
Time he throws it. But he only did that about 4 times in round 8.
That was a close round, and that's a round that could go a long way in deciding the outcome of this fight. Look at the numbers in the last round.
Dead even. I ended up giving it to Jones because I thought the quality of his punches landed were a little bit better.
Should this go to a decision, it would be interesting.
Oh, very much so. And of course, Carl Williams has done a lot of work. He's thrown more jabs. There's the right by Jones. He's thrown more jabs. The numbers of connects very close in this bout. Williams may even have an edge. So it's not out of the question that Carl Williams is right in there for a decision. I personally think Jones is probably ahead. And in any case, Carl has not cemented his position as a guy that would march right in and contend for a title. Good hook by Carl Williams. He has thrown some good power punches, and on occasion looks like he's hurt Jones.
There's the right hand again, and that backed Williams off. And he says it doesn't hurt, which means it does usually.
And even if it doesn't, it still lands. Carl Williams has been carrying his left so low in this match. It's part of the reason why he's been hit with those right hands.
Bring out, get back.
Uppercut by Williams, and that backed Jones off of it.
That's a nice combination that Carl Williams has and hasn't used too much in this match, and that is that right to the body and the head.
But Jones came right back with a left hand of his own.
Another weapon for Jones is the double right hook. See, there he threw a couple of them to the body and then should have come to the head with it. And there, Carl Williams tried something very unique. He blocked the right hand. Jerry Jones. Good concept, Carl.
The uppercut again. He talked about that as being a potential weapon.
And it was early. Remember when he knocked him down? He knocked Jones down early. He's not been able to use that punch as effectively. There's the hook again by Jones. See, now Carl is blocking that right hand when he's a righty, when Jones is a righty.
So there's one round of boxing left. Let's go back into the corner first of Carl Williams.
Okay, Carl, the last round.
Should be an interesting round. See what each of these men have left.
And if Carmen Graziano, he may have been saying that just to motivate his man, knowing it's a close fight, but he's indicating he thinks maybe Carl Williams would need a knockout to win here. And that's very possible.
In the 9th round, Williams more effective.
Holding there, that's the first time. Isn't it refreshing to see a heavyweight fight where there's not a lot of clutching and grabbing, and there hasn't been?
No, very little. There's a headbutt. No damage.
There is my scoring. I have Jones ahead by 2 points in this match, 85-83. Not a huge margin for him. It could be bigger. Not an easy fight to score, but the extra knockdown he has ends up really being the major difference. Because while he's hurt Williams more, he also hasn't thrown quite as many punches as he would like.
He still switches back and forth from right to left.
One thing that has happened is that the power of Jones' punches has diminished a bit. So that's why, even though I've been harping on the fact he's not throwing that right hand, even when he does land it, it doesn't hurt Williams as much, but nevertheless, it would be a punch that's landing for him. I'm sure many people did not think that Jerry Jones could deal this kind of punishment to Carl Williams and handle this fight as well as he has, and he should get a lot of credit for that.
He's really done a very good job.
31-year-old, he wants very badly to get more fights. Whether this will help him or hurt him, I don't know. If he wins, it'll help him. It'd be fun to see him in there against somebody like Tommy Morrison, for instance.
Fighter really doing very much in this final round. I really thought there would be much more action in this last round.
It's interesting. They may just be fatigued. Jerry Jones is fighting like he knows he's got it won.
I don't think I'd put it in the bank if I
were. I wouldn't. And we haven't seen the right hand from Jones in several minutes, except for a jab like that. And Carl Truth lands a good uppercut. This is going to be a very tough 10th round to score, and that is going to make this a difficult fight perhaps.
And it's over. I think it could be an interesting decision, actually. Jones thinks he's got it won.
And so does Williams, apparently.
And we will see. It's in the hands of the judges now. All right, why don't we all find out then? And with the official decision, here's Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at Harrah's Atlantic City, we go to the scorecards. Tommy Kazmarek scores the bout 96-94. That's the same score from John Potteray, 96-94. Al DeVito has it 96-93 for the winner by unanimous decision, Jerry Slice Jones.
Well, Jerry Jones thought he won the fight, and in fact he did.
And those scorecards are not at all out of line, quite reasonable in my opinion.
Yeah.
You could make the case strongly for him.
So Jerry Jones, with a good plan, did the job early, knocked his man down twice, and came away with a unanimous decision by 2 points on 2 judges' cards and by 3 points on the other.